Welcome, fourth graders. We're going to be working on some subtraction using borrowing. Please get our whiteboard marker, pen, or pencil. Do this with me. It'll be easier if you do it on a pen, with a pen and paper, or a whiteboard and marker. Trust me on this. If you just try to do it mentally on the computer, it will be less successful. Let's write out the problem. So, we're going to write out 4,102. We're going to take away 2,989. Those who do this with me on a whiteboard, on a piece of paper, much more successful. Now remember, you are going to subtract. And when we subtract using the standard algorithm up here in 4th and 5th grade, we start with the ones place. So we go top to bottom, right to left. It's kind of opposite of what they do in the lower grades, but we always start in the ones place. We start top, we look at the top number, we look at the bottom number, and we go from right to left. Okay, so now that we got that cleared out, let's go ahead and work this problem. I have it written out. Now, the first number I look at, because I'm starting at the top, is I'm going to look at that 2 right here. So this 2 is smaller than the 9. So I look at 2 and I compare it to 9. If I have 2 apples, I cannot give you 9 apples. I can't do that. You cannot take 9 apples away unless you're going into the negative. We're not going to talk about that right now. 2, taking 9 away cannot happen, so I cross out the 2, and I do that because it's just, I know I've looked at the number, and I know that I can't do anything with it right now. So then I move over to the tens place value, meaning do I have any tens to borrow against? There's a 0 there. 0 means nothing. So I have nothing that I can borrow to regroup. So I'm going to cross it off because I have nothing. So then I keep moving over to the next larger place value, and I say, okay, I have 100 in the hundreds place. I have one group of 100. I can take that. I will take that one group of 100, and I'm going to borrow it. So I take it. If I take something and there's only one of it, there's nothing left. So then I have that one group of 100, and I can say, well, I'm going to break it because I'm putting it in the tens place. Well, I can't put a $100 bill with a whole bunch of $10 bills. So I have to take that one $100 bill and I have to trade it for 10 tens, because 10 tens is 100. So I turn that into 10. Now that I have 10 gloops in the tens place, I can borrow one $10 bill, and I take it, and that leaves me 9 $10 bills, and I'm going to give that one $10 bill to the 2, and that becomes 12 because I take that one $10 bill and turn it into 10 ones, and then I add them to the 2 ones that were already there, so I have 2 and 10 more. That means that's 12. So now I can come over here and I can say, okay, I can now subtract. So I have 12 minus 9 is going to be 3. 9 minus 8 is going to be 1. So then, good. But then now I have no $100 bills, and somebody needs to take 9 of them. If I have nothing, I can give you nothing. So I have to go next door and look to see if there's any groups that I can borrow against. And there are 4. So I can borrow one of the thousands, and that leaves 3,000 left. So 3, and I give that 1 to the 10, the 1 to the 0, and it makes 10. So now I have 10 groups of 100. Well, 10 times 10 groups of 100. 10 groups of 100 is really 1,000. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 10 groups of 1,000. 10 groups of 100 is 1,000. So now I have 10, and I can take I have 10 and I can take 1 away, and that leaves me, I can have 10 and I can take 9 away, and that leaves me 1. Okay, 1 group of 100. I have 3 and I can take 3 groups of 1,000 and I can take 1 away, or 2 away, and that leaves me with 1. Okay, so over here, I want to show that work of 1,113. So, over here, I can say, okay, I turned my 2 into a 12. So I'm going to scroll down here and turn it into a 12. That 12 is right here, right there. I turned my 0 into a 10 first. Then I turned my 1 into a 0. Okay? And I turned my 4 into a 3. Then I came back up and I turned my 0 into a 10 so that I could subtract it. This is a double borrow. Then the 10, I borrowed 1 from it, and it became the 9. So that 9 here, that 10 here. Usually, when I do that, I turn, I'll take this and I'll say, okay, so that's the 0, and then I will cross it off and turn it into a 10. So that 0 became the 10, the 9. Okay, so then I can continue on and say, okay, so 12 minus 9, 12 minus 9, because these guys are actually, will be all crossed off because they've changed. So 12 minus 9 is going to be the 3. So I come down here and mark 3. 9, because this guy also got crossed off and changed. 9 minus 8 is going to be 1. 10 minus 9 is going to be 1. And 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. So then I say, okay, that's my answer. So then I go ahead and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to check my answer, and lo and behold, it is correct. So don't check your answer until you're all done. I'm only going to give you 3 chances to check your answer. So wait till you've finished putting in all of your drop downs before you check your answers, because you will waste one. If you do 12 and then check it, and then do 12 and then do 9 and check it, and do the 10 and check it, you're done. You won't have any more. Wait till you do every single drop down before you check the answer. Do every single box before you check the answer. The check the answer should be the last thing that you do, not the first or second thing that you do. Okay, if you have questions, concerns, let me know.